All right, and we are back. I hope everybody is excited for as I am for the next run. Everybody's favorite cat, Garfield, caught in the act by janglestorm. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it on over to you, and good luck. Have fun.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, hello everybody. Hope you had a good weekend so far with Pixels for People, Jungle Storm here. I'm gonna do a couple of games for you today, and the first one will be this wonderfully visual game called Garfield Caught in the Act. We'll talk about the visuals a little bit later as well, and of course I'll speedrun the game. It's gonna be a good one. So yeah, let's just reset without further ado. Funny thing is, there's a bit of a thing that you skip in the beginning if you let the demo play for too long, but yeah, that's not legit for the speedrun, so we're gonna skip that. So we're just gonna do a reset here. Right, and time will start in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, we just skipped a bit of the intro. So this is Garfield in TV land, basically, as you see from all the wires. So basically, we got here because we were trying to fix our TV, but the TV parts that went missing formed this spare part monster or creature called Glitch, which zapped us into the TV, and that's where we are right now. So yeah, we're gonna play some movie-themed levels, and first off we have Count Slobio's Castle, which, as you would expect, is Dracula-themed. And yeah, this is a platformer. Surprise, surprise. Garfield has some melee attacks, also projectiles. It varies per level what you get. In this case, you get skulls that you can throw. And I'll be using both of those frequently for speed stress also. So in this first part, we have to pull these tongues. We have to climb out of these tombs. There's actually a tiny glitch here that I could pull off if I were really lucky, and it could launch me out of this tomb. It would save me a couple seconds, but it's really tough to pull off on the fly, so I sometimes go for it, but it usually never happens. I usually make a point of bringing that up during my speedruns when I do this. Alright, so here's the last of the tombs that we climbed out of. Now we gotta jump over a couple fences, avoid bats, you know, the whole deal. Nice and easy. The thing is, I tried to also throw the projectile from taking damage. This is a pretty big jump, by the way, should be mentioned. It seems like the overgrowth is suggesting that the platform is quite a bit bigger, but it isn't. Just so you know. So now we grab the remote, and this is the first boss fight. It's mostly pretty short levels, and the boss fights are also relatively simple in general. This one has a bit of a catch to it, I would say, because you have to get Count Slobula into the coffin and then jump on the coffin and open up the blind that is right above it. And it's a visual cue that's not directly apparent, I think. At least it wasn't for me when I was first playing this. So it was surprising to see what it eventually would end up being. But as soon as you see it, of course, it makes quite a bit of sense because, you know, you have to let the light in and, you know, Dracula and all that. Also, there's bats that we have to avoid. They can be quite annoying at times. Let's see, one more. It's just these 3 coffins, so it's pretty straightforward in that sense. Alright, and then we grab the remote, and that's the end of this level, so nice and easy. Thanks for the good luck, by the way, much appreciated. So in between you have these commercial breaks, and apologies for the static, by the way, there's going to be a lot of it, but yeah, normally you would collect these Pookies for extra lives or continues. We don't need those because the game is pretty generous, but we have to collect these cups to go faster, and we have to avoid these orbs, yeah, I know, orb, in order to prevent us from slowing down. Heading over to the next level, this is basically serving as an overworld of sorts, but it's very linear. You just walk, so it's purely decorative, I would say. Alright, Revenge of Orangebeard. We're starting out on a boat, but we're gonna skip the boat. It's normally playing out like this semi-auto-scroller type of thing, but in this case, we just try to go through the water and hopefully not take too much damage. Thankfully, we grabbed this cup, which in the regular levels means that we're able to have a little bit of invincibility. So that will allow us to do some of these boat skips to some extent. And this part is crucial because with these tentacles, enemies like that. They could do double damage if you land on them sort of wrongly, I guess, in a wrong way, which would suck if you would try to skip all of this. But this was the first boat skip right here, so this went pretty well. It's rather precise, but yeah, it also does involve some health management, but it's definitely worth it if you can, if you give it a try. So let's see. I really got to rebuild my health here because I need all the health that I need for the third boat skip right here. So wish me luck on this one. See, I really got to carefully time my jumps. Wait exactly until before it runs out. Yeah, I don't think I will get this one though. This one is really tough to set up. It's super precise. By the time I usually make it to the mainland again, I'm pretty much down to 1 health. So 10 health would be ideal, but usually I wind up with 9, which is still doable, but it's tough for sure. As long as I make it to the checkpoint though. The spookies that you see right there, those are the checkpoints that you have, so at least it makes it a bit easier to go for that. Also, for some reason, this is part theme. For some reason this level has chickens, I don't know why, but there's a lot of them. Yeah, orbs. Also R, because it's pirates. Also skellies. Alright, this is also an interesting part of the run because this is the jungle section where we have to climb trees. We get on top of these branches and it's kind of finicky sometimes. You want to make sure not to fall all the way down because enemies can do that to you if they land you on if they hit you on the head. So I tried to prevent that, but also I tried to do a couple of vine skips. You saw the first one right there. It's really a lot easier than the second one because the window is a lot bigger. The second one that's coming up, it's going to be tougher, that's for sure. Let's see if I can get myself there safely. Ooh, that was close. Nearly got knocked down there. Let's see, this is the second one. First try, let's go. So you basically have to sort of grab outside of the vine, sort of. There's still this part where you can still grab it, and that way you can get yourself up there really quickly. Some of these vines are really hard to grab for some reason because collision detection is a thing. Seems like a shadow thing, sort of, I don't know. But that was a really good jungle section, by the way. That went way better than in quite a lot of my my marathon runs, even, I would say. Also, I forgot to mention, the reason why I jump and then slash is because there's this stun animation that Garfield has if I get hit by something. And by slashing, I can actually skip that. So, our flashing warning, by the way, must be said. I have to deal 8 hits to this skelly. Easy enough, but gotta make sure not to have too much of a setback there. Alright, time for another commercial break. Even more bitrate kill, apologies for that. At least you can sing to this, you sing a melody to this. So bitrate killer, bitrate killer, bitrate killer, and so on and so on. It sort of fits, I guess. Alright. So yeah, that was a pretty good level too. Now we go way back in time. We go to the era of the cave cat. This is a level, in most versions of this game, on the PC and on the Game Gear, it's actually the first level. For some reason they decided to switch it up between those two. But the Game Gear version is actually developed by a different team. By the same team who made Echo the Dolphin, as a matter of fact. So it's basically the same concepts, but the levels are very, very different. So they're basically different games. It's an interesting side-by-side comparison. So you see, we have lovely, lovely teeth. It must be said that the visuals are really nice, really awesome. That's also because they had some official help with this from Jim Davis and his team. The team of Paz was working on this, and they did fantastic work. It just really comes alive, I feel. So that's always really awesome. Right. There's lots of pushing rocks into geysers and everything. This is also where I use projectiles to keep a bit of a distance and to prevent myself from getting the stun animation. Over here, I want you to roll this rock over here, but you could just grab the ledge, so you don't really have to do that. This game is kind of like telling you where to go. especially on this difficulty. I'm currently playing this on Kitty difficulty, as it's called. So you have that, and you have the so-called normal mode, which doesn't show the arrows. It's not significantly different in my experience, aside from a couple things, so it's not necessarily much more difficult, if at all, but yeah, it's one of the cosmetic differences, I guess. There we go. Yeah, you would think so. The event of this game fell on a Monday. Also, by the way, that's a hammer there. That's one of the 2 items that I'm not grabbing alongside extra lives, because those lead to bonus stages after each level, and I don't want to play those because it's a speedrun. So there you go. So lots of cheese here. There's so many things you can pick up here, like you have pizza, you have burgers. For some reason, no lasagna though. That seems very weird for a Garfield game. I don't know. But this is the closest it gets, I guess. Okay, now for Dino OD, or as I abbreviated to as Dinody. We have to roll rocks onto the seesaw and then launch them to Dinody. I really hope that I will survive this fight without a softlock, because that's a possibility that might happen. I'll explain very soon why, for whatever reason. It's very RNG heavy in a sense, because the rocks, it's kind of hard to manipulate them so they appear as close to the seesaw as possible, which would be ideal, of course, but you have to deal with what you got, I guess. You also have to be, you have to make sure not to be too greedy with these launches. Replic the Netherlands, indeed. See, I think there's one more hit left, but that one goes all the way in the back. And of course, you also get hit by all kinds of falling pieces of rock as well, so there's that too. And okay, we avoided the softlock. So let me go into detail about that. So what can happen is Dinody can jump off screen and never return. So if that happens, you can softlock the game. It's a commonly seen thing. So if that would happen, I would have to replay the stage. That's exactly why I put 3 minutes above my estimate, on top of my estimate of what would normally be 20 minutes, because in the case I need to replay this level. But we avoided that, so that's good. Alright, oops, there we go. This is also a pretty static heavy part of the game. I love the a lot of this game is actually. Alright, it's time for Casablanca. It's film noir territory, as you can tell from the fedora. And the music is really good too, so feel free to snap your fingers and sour please if you like. There we go. So this is normally a little bit of a maze. You have to go through all these doors and hopefully you find your way out. But it's actually really straightforward if you know the way. Ooh, that dove is... there are some things happening here. So the dove can be so mean. If you get hit by it, you get struck down. And you really want to stay on top of these rooftops. Right, onto this wrecking ball, and it's already boss time. It's some levels are really short. Also, this boss fight is going to be really short, hopefully, because we'll be getting some bombs with colored fuses. Those will be the ones that we'll be collecting if we get lucky. Normally speaking, we have to deal 8 hits, 8 bombs in total. But if we get lucky, which we are not getting right now, we get 4, and we then, what we do then is we are gonna hug this right side of this wall and just fire them back at the boss. And if we, for some reason, if we stand at the right wall, we're able to do this fight a lot faster. You could only do like half of the hits, and that apparently is enough. I don't know how it works, but it's a fun little glitch. It's easy to do. And for some reason, it's not possible in the PC version, which someone discovered recently. So that's unfortunate. All right. Okay, this is an interesting part, I guess, since we're going to use our jump height here to skip this bit of parkour. Normally, if you jump sideways, you don't jump as high as if you jump straight up. So in this case, it's high enough for us to jump over that obstacle there, so we can skip a little bit of parkour there. And that's nice. Now with this nice thing on our head, it's time for Cleopatra, Egypt themed. That first jump there, it's a weird thing. You have to sort of time it so that you don't constantly fall through the platform, but you have to get launched by it. It seems like it's a bit timing based. I'm not exactly sure of the timing. I'm just trying to get it right. It's kind of weird, but if it works, it works. This is a matter of getting off at exactly the right point. Right, hang down here. Got some crushers, which you'll never see in this case because I jump over all of the plates that actually, or the pressing plates that actually activate the crushers. But it can happen sometimes. It's no big deal if it occurs. So this is another one of those levels where normally speaking you would have a lot more stuff happening, but yeah, they saved the best for this boss fight. In the speedrun it's also really cool because there's a thing I'm gonna set up that can optionally save me like almost 20 seconds. But it's a bit tight. So as soon as I fire the torch on the left side, I basically have to make sure that I don't waste too much time here. Trying to jump to the other side. First, I'm going up here, and I'm trying to do something on the right side first. Then I'll make this huge jump, and hopefully I'll land onto the other paw, and that will allow me to save me some time there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Launch from the tongue. Oh no! I actually got that was so trolly. I actually got hit by one of those flies. It blocked my path, so I couldn't make the full jump there. Oh damn! Otherwise, I would have been the time save there. But now I have to wait for this elevator to go up again. So that's unfortunate. But oh well, it happens. It was a good try at least. If you want to get world record on this, this is basically required. So yeah, there would have been a reset if I were going for world record attempts or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is basically very symmetrical. Oh wait, I need to do another hit. There we go. I think, yeah. Ah damn, I got hit there as well. So I have to hit those eyes. It's possible for me to hit them whilst I drop down there. That would have been nice, but now I have to deal the 10 hits that I would normally have to do. You can hit them beforehand if you throw projectiles or something, but it doesn't actually deal damage. So you have to wait for this phase specifically. Okay, now for the snake's head, same recipe. I just stand in the same position really, I just hope to not get hit. It does work pretty well most of the time. No they don't, Womstein, that would be nice though. This is a Genesis game, but they've not really released it anywhere else, really. Oh yeah, there's a thing that I forgot to mention. There's also, at the time they had a series of lost levels which are made available on the Sega channel. So there is a select group of people who may have played those, and those were some extra levels. And some of the ideas that were actually featured in the Game Gear game. But they've been lost ever since, so until someone finds a dump of it or something, we'll never get to play those levels again. It would be really cool to see that again, though. It sounds really interesting. Alright, that was the last commercial break, and it's time for the final boss fight already, so it's a pretty short game. Seems like we're still in a pretty nice pace. So now we fight the creature who got us here in the first place, and that's of course a Glitch. And you'll see that it's quite a peculiar looking creature because it seems like it's from an entirely different game. It's like Vortex graphics and all that. It's a bit weird. But yeah, we have to flip these panels here, specifically to send back the bullets or fire, whatever that Glitch is sending at us. I'm just trying to flip everything so it maximizes the chance that something gets fired back. I don't think you have to flip all of them necessarily, but the window is big enough that I have the time to just set it up, really. So, and the longer this level takes, the more time you have to set it up anyway, since you climbed all the way up there. So, in that sense, the window gets really big. This can be a tough level though. Sometimes you try to jump and you get hit by one of the projectiles, and it just sends you all the way back. So it can be quite a time waste if that happens. I've had it happen before. This is going pretty well so far. Yeah, John the Sphinx. Yeah, they take so many transformations. It's really cool to see. Okay, I think I can make it from up here. Yeah, okay, we're good still. See, that's what can happen. That's all kinds of shenanigans, really. Right, and this is the final stretch. Have to jump on this once more and jump up here, and then we just have to wait. So time is coming up as soon as the screen fades to black after I pick up the last remote, so that's gonna be momentarily. We just have to wait. Just gonna dance. This is not too bad casually. You can finish this in under 2 hours, I think. As soon as you know what to do with the first boss, then it's totally doable, I think. Alright, get ready, and time. And we're back. And Garfield had fun. Nice touch. But yeah, that was a game really. We get sent back and we can enjoy watching from our couch again. So yay, we did it.
GG.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was I think it was a sub 20 barely. Or 20.
20 flat.
Okay, close enough then. It was a really good run. I was actually pretty pleased with some of the parts went because there's some tough stretches in there in a certain way if you want to go for certain times. But yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, it really was. Before we switch on over to intermission to set up for the next round, anything you would like to say before we go? Any shout outs to give?
Shoutouts to the other runners of this game. There's a couple of other runners. We can always use some more. If you feel like running this, be sure to hit me up or join the Garfield Discord. On speedrun.com, there's a link to the Discord. Also for other Garfield games. So if you want to join, be sure to join. Yeah, and shouts to all of y'all for letting this game in and running this marathon. I'll be back later tonight with another game, Tiny Toons for the Game Boy. So that should be some fun times as well. So I'll see you then. Until then, enjoy the next upcoming runs and be sure to keep donating for Child's Play.
All right, thank you so much. All right, guys, so we're going to go and take a quick intermission, get set up for the next run. The next run is going to be Laxus playing VVVVVV, or as I like to call it,
V6.
You know what? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? All right. Make sure that you guys stick around, and you know what? If you're looking for something to do, check out those donations, those incentives, and you know what? Check out some of the really cool prizes we have. All right, we'll be right back.